How difficult is it to prepare for a style that St. John's has in such a short amount of time?
Well, it's not easy. I mean, obviously they're so different than anybody we've played, and having played against Coach Anderson's teams when he was at Missouri and I was at Iowa State, it's the unpredictability of what's coming is what makes it the most difficult. They'll double team out of nowhere and they'll rotate different ways, and it's a unique style. It's a very aggressive style, and you have to take care of the basketball.
Do you show the guys a lot of film, or you try to give them concepts? Like, what's the best way to get them ready for something where, like you said, a lot of times you may not necessarily know what's coming?
We showed them the film yesterday of just their different looks out of their pressure, and today we'll just it becomes more about how you do it, more so than what you do. Like when it's your responsibility to get open, you've got to do your job, and you can put them in different places and have all kinds of schemes, but if you don't do your job, you're asking for trouble. So we watched the film yesterday. Today we'll really work on the concepts that we have to have and the execution of what you have to do to get open and attack the pressure. You want to try to use it against them.
Can you talk about Jett the other day and how you surprised him with the scholarship and how you planned that?
It was a cool deal. I had to get Mitch on board. Mitch was his roommate, so the day before I instructed Mitch to make sure the two of them were late for the bus. And then we sat on that for 24 hours and instructed Mitch to tell the team before practice when we start our drill where there's a lot of energy and a lot of communication, I don't want anybody to talk. So nobody was talking except for Jett. So I chewed the team out, put them on the line, ran them a little, and then turned my attention to Mitch and Jett, made them run a little for being late, and then huddled them all up and chewed the team out, chewed Mitch out, and then I turned my attention to Jett, and all he would say is, "Yes, sir. Yes, sir." And I said, "Well, if you're going to be on scholarship, you got to start to act like it." Of course, he said, "Yes, sir," and then the guys mobbed him. But he's earned it. He's worked extremely hard. Played meaningful minutes for us in November and December when our bench was short, and stands for everything we want a Creighton basketball player to stand for.
What did you see in him, and what has he meant to this team?
We thought he could come in and be a guy that could do similar things that Tyler Clement did for us, and that's a heck of a compliment. Because Tyler was an invaluable member of this team during that stretch of time, and played some on the floor, but also his preparation and practice to make sure the scout team was ready, his work ethic, always in the gym shooting the basketball and setting an example for everybody else. That's what you want, and Jett's a coach on the floor. He thinks the game at a very high level, and that's allowed him to contribute.
Is the fact that you have guys who've been through this a while, so they maybe just get it, but like when you have to turn the page after every game, obviously, but the fact that you have a Providence team that does specific things well, and then you go face a St. John's team that does something different but does it well, like, does that help catch the guy's attention a little bit? Or
I mean, the reality of it is in this league, I think Seton Hall won 8 in a row to start. Villanova had their run starting with our game. It ended with our game. And we won 4 in a row. I don't think anybody else in the league's won 4 in a row.
Yeah.
So it's going to be very difficult to go on a run in this league. I think it's very similar to what you're seeing in the Big Ten now. There's a lot of the teams in the league that are competing for NCAA tournament bids that are still in the conversation. We've got 8 or 9 teams that, depending on how the season ends, could certainly get there. So you're playing a great team every night. It's really hard to get on a sustained run. So you have to have a short memory. You have to have a short memory when you win. You enjoy it. You turn the page, and you're going to lose some in this league. And when you do, you got to flip the page there as well.
How do you describe February? It's kind of like everybody's looking to March, but it's kind of that area where it's kind of tough to get some guys.
It's really important. I mean, it's an important month, and a couple of other good teams. Unfortunately, we had injuries in the 3rd or 4th week in January that really impacted the second half of our conference play, and hopefully we can keep everybody healthy and try to duplicate what we did in the first 9 games. I mean, if you win 2/3 of your games in this league, especially this year, you've done a heck of a job.
Got some guys who played a lot of minutes. Can you manage those? I mean,
those guys didn't practice yesterday, so I mean we were so there's only so much they can do in a week's time, and if you do it in the game, you got to back off in practice. And if we had a situation where we were 10 deep and nobody was playing more than 25 minutes, then we could practice a little bit more. But we've got to manage it with our athletic training and strength and conditioning staff, the temperature of where our guys are from a recovery standpoint, and then we adjust our practices accordingly.
As Sharif progresses progressing?
He's progressing. I don't think he's quite there yet, but he's getting better. Obviously, we'd love to have him, especially tomorrow, but we'll wait and see what tomorrow brings. Thank you.
Jett, obviously, how cool was it to, first take us through that moment when you kind of realized that you were getting put on scholarship?
Yeah, you know what? It's a pretty crazy story. There was a whole back story behind it where Mitch kind of forced me to be late. And I didn't know. I was like, okay. So then we got on the line. We started to run, just me and Mitch. They called in. Coach was talking to me about being more responsible in a lot of things, and he was getting on me. And I was like, all right. I guess I just got accepted, even though it wasn't really my fault. And then at that point, he told me, and he didn't even really register at first. But then it hit, and my teammates were all over me, and it was just awesome. What an awesome deal. Super awesome moment.
What does it mean to be on scholarship here at Creighton?
You know what? It means a ton. Obviously, that's not my first goal. That was never my first goal here. My goal was to help the team the way I can, just to help us win games and help all of these guys, and just to be a part of something that was bigger than myself. But obviously this was like in the back of my mind, but it just wasn't ever that main goal. And for it to finally come true, and just to know all that hard work is paying off, was just an awesome
Tuition
feeling.
is not cheap here at Creighton University.
Yeah, for sure.
And to have a scholarship means a whole lot. What did your family say when you told them?
Means a ton. Yeah, my mom and my dad were both crying. They were bawling, just super happy, and just, yeah. No, it means a ton to us. So, yeah.
What were the options for you out of high school? Were there other schools that had interest, or?
Yeah, you know what? I got hurt my AAU year coming into college. So the schools that were on me kind of went off me. I had some Ivy League interests, but then it ended up just being mainly Division IIs. And then I had a lot of preferred walk-ons to K-State and Illinois, and then obviously Creighton. And then, yeah, I came here on a visit, and I loved it. I love the coaches. I love the system. And it's kind of a deal where I was just like, yeah, it was just a great spot for me, and this is where I wanted to be.
I've talked to some of these guys and say, like, man, in the summer, like, you hold your own. I guess, when did it kind of set in that, like, I can play here? Like, I'm not just going to be a practice guy. I'm not just going to be a walk-on. I'm going to be a contributor to this team.
You know what? One of the things that I focused on from the very beginning was just to keep getting better each day, and at some point it was going to pay off. I wasn't sure to what level that was going to be, but there wasn't ever that like one moment where I said I can do it, but it was just always believe in myself and just keep getting better each day.
You're kind of like the cheerleader on the bench during the games. What's your role there as you're watching the game? Because you don't get in there all the time.
Yeah, you know what? Just keeping the guys engaged and just keep them keeping the energy level high, which is that's a big goal of mine too.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Ty-Shon, coming off that split, what kind of issues did you really have with that zone?
It really startled us a little bit, and obviously we may make a good adjustment to doing it. But we're gonna watch the film today to look at some of those things that we didn't do right, and some of the things that we need to work on, just to say like if we end up playing them again. So it just hit us out of nowhere, and it really stopped us a lot because we're paranoid. But we just gotta keep working and getting better at it.
Don't expect other teams to start using that more.
Not quite, because of the way that we shoot the ball. I don't expect a lot of teams to do that, but if anything like goes like that, like we just gotta know our instincts, like where we have to be in a certain spots, who needs to go middle to make the right play, and we just gotta keep doing it.
What about St. John's tomorrow? What are your thoughts?
They're a really good defensive team. They get a lot of turnovers, they get a lot of steals, and they're basically like my old AAU team that we used to play. Like just go around and try to get a lot of steals and run on fast breaks and stuff. So we got to do a very good preparation today. Scout team got to be very, very good today, and you just got to look forward to playing tomorrow.
Yeah, what's the mentality as a ball handler against a team that you know they can bring a trap at any point? They're going to pressure you as soon as you throw it in.
Yeah.
Even inbounds passes aren't going to be easy against it.
My aspect is probably just to always have your eyes up and make sure you have like ears and making the right play, because they could be everywhere at one time, and one bad pass or one bad read could just cause like a lot of big problems. And as being a ball handler, like you don't want to dribble a lot because it's just going to be just bad. And we're gonna definitely work on that today, because they do a very good job of the things that they do.
Yep.
Oh, it was amazing. I like some part of me, like I knew it was gonna happen some way or another, but Coach Matt had a real good idea of what was coming up, so he did a very good job of just talking to us and telling us like how he was going to do it. But it was just amazing just to have Jett as being a part of our team now, especially being on scholarship.
What's that mean when you got a guy like him who's not here on scholarship, kind of busting his tail every day?
It's huge, because like you don't have many guys like that. Like last year we had TC, and Jordan last year ended up having a scholarship too, but Jett ended up coming a long way, especially just coming in as a lot smaller than what he is right now, and just coming in and busting his butt every single day, especially just being 5'10", and going against guys that's like 6'5" and 6'8", so it's a huge accomplishment for Jett.
Yeah, did you see the maturation gradually, or was there a day you look up and you're like, Jett, he looks big now?
No, it's just like it was just shocking to me how where he looked when he first came in during the summer, where he's at now. Like Jett's gotten a lot bigger,
right.
And he's not as afraid of, like he's not even scared to go in pain. He's not as afraid to get down and dirty. So it's I'm just happy for him. Like it's just a huge accomplishment. Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks.